Greetings, tribe. Thanks for joining me today. This practice is to liberate you, your heart center, to open up your body in some passive and really juicy, yummy back bending. It's a short practice. It's not a sweaty one, but it's designed to just release and set free a little bit. So let your hair down and let's begin. You're going to go ahead and, if you have a bolster and a couple of blocks or even a rolled blanket, it'd be helpful. But recline back so that the bolster supports you right at your thoracic spine, and then just drape your head back on the floor and open your arms. And if your head is not supported by the floor, then grab a block or another folded blanket or pillow and just make sure your head is supported by something. And legs can be crossed, kind of in a Sukhasana, cross-legged position, or release them long. Some folks like to bring the soles of the feet together. Whatever works for you, even knees bent is nice. But just take a couple really deep, smooth breaths right into your heart center. And as you exhale, just let your shoulders melt and dissolve and drape and let go here. Enjoy a couple of breaths. And just feel the support of gravity underneath you and drop into that gentle pull of gravity. And let the body feel heavy, let your spirit feel kind of light. Deep inhale here. And as you exhale, just circulate your hands down towards your hips. Lace your fingers, accept your index finger, and then on an inhale, stretch up and over your head. And then as you exhale, release your hands and soften the elbows and circulate down back towards the hips. Just take a couple full circles of the shoulder, opening up through the heart center, softening through the elbows. Let your hands just drag along the floor if you can. And twice more. Inhale to reach up and back. Really filling the lungs, and then exhale. Take up a lot of space. See if you can reach out wider, push the block or whatever is in your periphery out of the way. Literally and figuratively, just reaching out and liberate the space around yourself. Spread out in all directions and clear the space. And one more time like that. Inhale. And exhale. Feels better already. And from there, just draw the knees in and plant your feet if they're not already there. And let's go ahead and take the hands behind the head. And again, you can use the support of the block, or you might find that even just a few minutes in here that you can lower the head down onto the floor and support the head gently, the base of the skull with your hands. And let's just oscillate the knees side to side. And as you oscillate your knees side to side, kind of walk your hips and your spine down towards the opposite end of your mat so that the bolster climbs up behind the heart center a little bit more. So you just take the back bend and a little further up your thoracic spine. And then take the knees over to one side and just hold there. And you can place that outside foot on top of the inside knee. So you get a nice little length from the back of the heart, wrapping around the front of the hip, down into the thigh, and take a couple breaths here. Let your head gently turn in opposition. And this whole shape has a really loungy, releasing feel to it, a liberating feel. And one of the biggest parts about liberating our body or our mind is giving ourselves permission to do so. So really just acknowledge that and let yourself drop in here for these few minutes. Whatever might be on your mind or any agendas or anything like that, just set it aside and give yourself the gift of just moving and breathing in the body. And then slowly come back to both feet on the floor and once again oscillate the knees side to side. Making any adjustments you need to through the spine, and then take your knees over to the opposite direction. Take that outside foot on top of the inside knee and gently turn your head and enjoy a couple of breaths here. One more deep breath. And slowly come back to the center. And from here, let's keep walking the hips and knees down, climbing the bolster up towards the shoulders, lifting your head with your hands, and coming up so that you can actually press into the bolster and sit on up. And then we're going to go ahead and come onto the hands and knees and just slide your bolster back so that it's a little closer to the middle of your mat, and then step the right foot forward between your hands. So from here, come into a really low released lunge so that your back thigh is supported by the bolster. And if the floor feels a little far away, then these blocks can come in handy, and you can create a little bit of space here and just really lift up through the chest. Try to bring the shoulders over the hips, but keep contact of your thigh pressing into the bolster so you can open up at the hip flexor, psoas, upper quadriceps, base of the spine there. Just enjoy a couple of breaths. We'll add a little rocking horse to this. So as you exhale, shift back, straighten the front leg any amount, and then shift forward and really settle your weight, your thigh into the pillow, into the bolster. Lift your chest. And exhale, shift it back. Yeah. And once more like that. Inhale, rippling forward. Notice the quality in which you move really affects the nervous system, affects how your body responds. So move in a way that feels really good to you. Let's turn the blocks a little bit wide and turn that front foot out, back thigh in, and then reach back and see about grabbing the big toe side of your foot. So you draw it in for a little quadricep opener here. And if it's too far away, you can grab a strap and grab your foot here. But open up your chest on your inhale. And then as you exhale, draw your heel in towards your buttock. And again, it's just a really nice opening for the front of the body. That's where we tend to carry a lot of our tension. We are upright human beings, and everything we do is very forward oriented. So to open up the front of the body is a huge medicine for all of us. So just enjoy, but it's also difficult. So if you're feeling some tightness here in your quads, just be gentle with yourself. Take a couple extra breaths. Give it a little bit of space. And drawing that heel in any amount. And go ahead and release. And then let's change sides just consciously here. Step the right foot back, either around the bolster or up and over the bolster. Walk your hands back up to your hips, coming into this standing, kneeling position, and lift through your chest. Open up across the chest. Pour your head back like you're pouring it into a waterfall. And exhale, shifting forward. And let's step the other foot up and over the bolster into that supported lunge, back thigh on the bolster. Use your blocks as you need to. Lift your chest and open up through that right side of the body. Exhale, bowing in, release your head and neck. Straighten the front leg any amount. And then shift it forward and open up across your chest. Exhale, shift it back. Really exaggerating each shape and each movement between the shapes. Open up, inhale. And then as you exhale, just widening the blocks, turning the left toes out, and reaching back to catch your back foot, either with your hand or your strap. A little bit of a twist here in the spine. You can open up the chest as you inhale. And then as you exhale, draw the heel in any amount. And this is pretty potent for most of us, especially on the right side. Many of us tend to be right side dominant, so the quadricep especially gets a little extra tension or strength built up in it. But just give it a little bit of time, give it a little bit of breath. It will be liberated eventually, but it's a process that we have to keep working on. One more breath. And then slowly release. Walk it all the way back. Take that left foot around or up and over the bolster. And walk your hands up to your hips. And let's open up the chest once again. Inhale, reaching up and back. And then exhale, shift it forward. And this time, take your bolster, slide it pretty far forward. And we'll come into kind of a supported child's pose with a shoulder release. So walk your hands forward, your forearms forward, so they're resting on the block or on the bolster, and just relax your forehead down. Tractioning back through the hips, If this bothers your shoulders at all, you can take the hands wider onto your blocks. And if you'd like to take it a little deeper, you can keep your hands forward on the bolster or the blocks and actually walk your knees back so that the knees are directly below the hips, and arc your spine down and either plant your forehead. Most of us will plant our forehead on the mat. Some of you might plant your chest and your chin, but if that again gives you any impingement or tightness in the shoulders, just keep it a little more lifted. And taking one more breath here. And slowly walking your hands in. And let's turn the bolster lengthwise on our mat and tuck and swivel so that we recline again. Yes, we're going back down. Give yourself some space here. Once again, just clear the space around you and open up nice and wide like a starfish. Spread out in all directions. Circulate through the ankles, through the toes, through the fingers. And then draw the soles of the feet together. Any tension, if you feel any tension in your inner hips, just grab your blocks and place them right underneath the outer knees. But see about snuggling your hands under the bolster now, elbows nice and wide, and really pressing the elbows into the mat, opening up across the chest here, and enjoy a couple breaths. And just feel the freedom across your tissues, your skin, your connective tissue, your fascia, your muscles, but also into your heart, into the fascia, the cells of the heart. Maybe feel your heartbeat kind of slowing down. The pace of your mind slowing down. And continue to just drop into that feeling space here. And this will be our final resting pose. If it feels good for you, stay right here. If you'd like to release your arms low and extend the legs long, go for it. And just enjoy this supported back bend. So healing for our spine and nurturing for our brain. And you'll feel the heart feels like one of the highest points in the body here. And so just let everything else fall away, drip away, including the contents of your mind. Just let it go. And rest here as long as you like. Thank you so much for joining. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste. I'm Shelley Williams. Thanks so much for tuning in and practicing with us today. If you'd like to practice more or join us locally for public classes, visit yogaloftmb.com. That's yogaloftmanhattanbeach.com. And to find out more about teacher training and upcoming retreats and all sorts of stuff like that, visit Yoga Mitra with 2 T's, Mitra, yogamitra.com. Thank you.